Selling to foreign countries is one of the most lucrative and interesting ways that you can really increase the amount of money that you're earning with e-commerce, but a lot of people don't really know the in and outs of it. So in this video, I'm going to tell you all the secret insider tips to really knowing how to perform well with foreign audiences and make a bunch of extra money. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Zach, and if you're new to the channel, learn all the secrets of the e-commerce world simply by subscribing to my channel and hitting that little bell icon so you don't miss anything. And in this video, I am talking about advertising and selling to foreign markets. And this is something that nobody talks about. But this is one of the amazing ways that you can expand your business and really see massive results. And if you have all this down pat, you're not going to deal with the problems that everybody faces when they try and market to like foreign audiences. And there's a lot of problems that come with it. So if you are interested in this, make sure you watch the entire video because I'm giving a lot of juicy information that I have learned personally working with a bunch of these foreign audiences. So before I begin, I just want to say that the US is definitely one of the best places to sell to. It's a hyper-consumerist culture. People are buying things left and right. There's a lot of excess money to be spent. It's absolutely fantastic. And now I live in the US. I've been primarily selling to the US throughout my e-commerce career, but it appears that these foreign audiences are very, very much untapped. And what doesn't really fly here anymore can definitely fly there because it's not so saturated. Nobody's really doing things, but if they are doing things, they're not doing it right? So these are the ways that you're going to succeed and get the same results that you would be getting like with the US, but in freaking every country. You're not limited. Okay, and this isn't just in terms of drop shipping. In fact, you really can't drop ship if you want to do this. If you want to form a very, very solid business like this, drop shipping is out of the question. But I will tell you how to actually like transition from that into this better business. Okay. Number one, I have like a little list right here. It's kind of unorganized, but they're all super helpful tips, so just bear with me here. Number one, you need to immerse yourself in the culture. Before you begin selling to a new country, like seriously selling to them, you need to see what flies with them and what doesn't. You need to look at how they react to things on social media, how they interact within their like social sphere, all that stuff. It's like a mini science experiment watching how these people in this culture react to different things, because I can guarantee you everybody reacts to different things. And if you try and use just a broad marketing strategy or a broad like series of products over all of these different markets, then you're not going to see nearly as good of results as you would if you actually put in the effort to find out what individually works best for these places. Okay, and then with this comes people reacting differently to different marketing strategies and different products and different ways that the products are presented. It entirely differs. For example, the store my dad is primarily running, he's selling a product that in the US was received very, very poorly. People didn't like it, people didn't buy it, he lost a lot of money with it. Transitioning it on over into Mexico, people absolutely loved this product and went crazy for it, and it's his main seller down there. So that just goes to show you that like if you were to just stick with that product and kind of realize like, oh, it's crap, I'm not even going to try and sell it anywhere else, he would have been missing out on a crap ton of money. So it's always about experimenting and testing, and this is, guys, what I'm always going to say in every single video. You just need to experiment and you need to test different markets, different products, different advertising strategies, all that crap. Okay, now some countries may have a preferable way to pay. A lot of countries, they do have access to like credit cards and PayPal and all that stuff, but they don't really like to use it. Just the culture doesn't really like it. And there's a way around this. A lot of them like to pay with like just cash. They like to pay in person and then get their item that way. And luckily there are a few services that do allow this. I know in Mexico, the Compra Pago service allows customers to go into like an OXXO, which is like a gas station. It's like their version of a 7-Eleven basically. Go to an OXXO, pay in cash, and then you're given the money and then you ship the item like that. I'm sure there's a version of that for practically every single major country out there. Just try and see what they like to do, because if this Compra Pago option wasn't available for these Mexico customers, literally 50% of the sales would not exist, because that's how frequently differently people pay with this service. So always make sure that you know what the predominant way of paying is in these new countries. Now, additionally, you want to understand the mail service, and this is an absolutely huge one, and this is something people don't really think about. The mail services in a lot of these countries can be absolutely terrible. They can be slow, they can be corrupt. Mexico's customs are one of the most corrupt in the entire world. They steal, if they just like the way a package looks, they will go ahead and just confiscate it, which is just them taking it. I know personally when I ran a jewelry store down in Mexico and I was just trying to drop ship down there, which bless my heart, that was young, ambitious me. Drop shipping down there, literally half my customers were not getting their products because they just get swiped or stuck in customs. And it was terrible. But there are ways around this. So if you know that their mail service is kind of crap, look into possible warehouses in that country that can then fulfill for you. Now, the predominant warehouse that I would recommend is Amazon. They're worldwide. They've got a bunch of different warehouses and locations all over the place. Look into that, see if they're available. There is one in Mexico, which is ridiculously helpful. There's some all over they're literally all over the world. So I just recommend looking at Amazon locations and seeing if they're there. But if not, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be some form of warehouse fulfillment in there that will allow your packages to arrive to the customers within a couple of days as opposed to a couple of weeks or, God forbid, even a couple of months. And this is what's really going to get people excited, happy, and coming back to you. People absolutely, in these countries where the mail system sucks, if you can get their product to them very quickly, they will love you and they will come back to you because nobody else offers such a good service like you do. And these places with the worst shipping services are generally the best to market to because they're the most untapped, right? Nobody wants to tackle that. But if you do find the way around it, like with the warehouse and everything, that's how you're going to see results because nobody markets there. They've seen none of the products that everybody else has seen because, you know, nobody wants to deal with all that. But if you deal with that, good Lord. Okay, and this is a big one. You need to test before you commit to a new country. Okay, I don't want you just getting a bulk order of something and shipping it over there and hoping that it sells. No, that's how you can lose a lot of money. You need to test and see what people respond to first before actually going in and committing to a certain marketing strategy or certain product to be sold in a place. A lot of research needs to be done beforehand, right? It's not something you can just rush into and hope that the products sell, right? The same standards still apply. And I think they're even like more, the standards even apply more here because hell, you're buying bulk, you're spending the time and money to ship it over there, all that effort, you don't want it to be for nothing. So just run a little bit of a test, see if people are interested in the product, right? See if they're interested in the marketing strategy, if they're receptive to it, and then go ahead for it. But be prepared to lose a little bit of money in the testing phase. Okay, this is what people are so scared of, losing a little bit of money to then go ahead and make a bunch of money. You need to lose a little bit to make some. A lot of companies start off in the red for the first few years before they become profitable. This isn't really any different. If you want to perform like a real business, this is what you have to do. Now, you also need to make sure that your website is adaptable to these different countries that you're advertising to. And through this, I mean dynamic translations, I mean currency converters, I mean just everything presented in a nice way. And there's a few ways that you can do this. Yeah, you can have those converters that go based off of like geolocation, or you could have a different website for each individual reason, like a Mexico only website or a South America only website, something like that, to where you can just make it all, like say you're in like Brazil, boom, it's like all Portuguese, or Mexico, boom, all Spanish, just something like that, right? But the dynamic ones do work. However, you just want to make it the best buying experience possible for these people. Because just think about it. If you go on a website that's like in broken English, the currency is in, I don't know, it's like pounds or it's in pesos. You don't really understand that. You don't want to go ahead and translate it. That's going to take effort and you're most likely not going to buy from this website. It's no different for these guys. They're like, it's still a pain in the ass for them. So make it easy for them. Now you need to be careful with this too, and this is something that I ran into. with Shopify especially, the checkout is always in the main currency that the store is set in. So if you're like in the US, you have USD, the checkout is going to be in USD. That's how it's going to be processed. So this might turn a lot of people off. You'd have to inform them that, you know, this is normal, that the same price is still applying and all that stuff. You got to go about this tactfully. There's a bunch of different caveats, but it does pay off once you get it down, and then you don't really have to worry about it once you do have all these problems solved. Okay, now this is a big one, and this is especially big if you're advertising more to countries that don't really have a huge online presence. And that's that they can be a little bit distrusting of what you're doing, right? Because they don't buy a lot of things online, they don't have a lot of experience with being online, so, you know, they might not react well to it, and they're going to be a little bit sketched out. So make sure that everything looks trustworthy, very simple to navigate and all that stuff, and make sure your service is on point, because a lot of these cultures in these different countries are very vocal and social. And if they have a bad experience with you, they will tell a lot of other people to not do business with you. But on the flip side, if you get your shipping like on point, if you have very, very good customer service, you will see fantastic results, because there we go, the social connection between everybody in the culture. They'll tell everybody, hey, this website's awesome, I got my product in like 2 days. People are like, oh my god, 2 days? That's insane. Then they'll go ahead and buy from you too. This has happened immensely on the store I'm talking about, and it most likely will happen for most stores that go ahead and do this as well. And then finally, and this is something that's pretty big and that a lot of people don't realize, is that they get paid at different times. So there's largely going to be some big spikes in when people buy and some big drops, like in the middle of the period from when they get their paycheck to the next one. There's going to be a huge dip in conversions, but when they get paid twice a month, but they're at different times than what you're used to, there's going to be some spikes there. So you could potentially kind of push your marketing over to really focus on those times of the month. You know, I'm just letting you know this because a lot of people don't realize that, yeah, payment goes differently. Paydays are generally pretty largely celebrated. I mean, that's anywhere in the world, and that's when conversions are going to rise. I mean, yeah, that's really all of the information that my dad and I could compile within a very short amount of time. There's a bunch more information out there. Now, I don't want to disclose too much because, you know, we've got this crap pretty cornered, but ask any more questions down below about this and I'll be happy to give you an answer, because it's really fascinating and I want more people to get into this because, yeah, it takes a lot of work, but the payoff is immense. So if you want to learn how to make a profitable Shopify business, I have a link to my course down in the description below. I also have a link to a free 14-day Shopify trial down there if you want to go ahead and get things started. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed what I said and how I said it. Check out those videos over there if you want more ideas for what to watch, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.